Yo, how we doing, fellas? Good day to be alive, right? At least I hope. Okay, because not everybody's happy. So, um, good reason they might not be happy is they're not jacked. That's one conclusion I've came up with. Right? At least that's how I was. I wasn't happy when I was, skinny, fat, lazy, not doing stuff. And now that I look back and I'm like, okay, how did I not know that this is why I wasn't happy, right? Like I was kind of joking, obviously at the beginning, but like I wasn't happy necessarily because I didn't have meaning, you know. Um, when you're kind of in a funnel where you're like everything's given to you, you don't really have to do much. You have to find purpose in order to feel alive, if that makes sense. And I didn't really feel alive when I didn't have that meaning. And some of you guys might be in this predicament where you're feeling unhappy and you don't know what to do. And I completely understand that. I've been there. Look at what you're doing now, and tell me okay, would a happy person be doing these things? Okay, it's kind of weird when you look at it that way, because then you're like, okay, this is starting to make sense. I don't really eat well. I hardly hit the macros I'm supposed to. You know, not that you need to track them to be happy, but you're not eating healthy. You're not eating whole foods. You go home and you pull out the bag of Cheetos. Trust me, I've been there. Bro, it's a good feeling. And then you turn on the TV, and then you're playing Fortnite for like 3 hours, right? While munching, getting the Cheeto dust all over your controllers, right? And then you go to sleep at 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and then you wake up and then you go to work at 12, and then you work 6 hours, and that's your day, I mean, of course you're not going to be that happy. You're not really doing much with your life. You're not doing something that gives it meaning. You're not having a win every day. And having a win every day is one of my favorite things in life, right? So that's why I always start off the day by drinking my water and going to work, right? Right now I'm currently working, right? Just doing sheets and tracking just for making sure I'm getting to people and helping people out as much as I can, right? I finished that and I'm like, okay, I just got a bunch of to-do lists done. So realistically for the day I've been productive, right? And then right after that I eat, I make some oatmeal, I go to the gym, and then there's another win for the day, right? I just went to the gym, right? And by that time it's probably about, when I'm done with all that, 1, 2 p.m. I go home and I kind of just chill out and I eat and I mosey around, do other tasks that need to be done, go hang out with friends. Yeah, I mean, I have time because I'm doing my work now. And on days where I do have like my other job to work on, not my business, it's like 3 a.m. days, get up, and it's kind of a win, but at the same time I don't get any fulfillment from my corporate job. If any of you guys know what I mean, like I just don't feel good. Like, just, I don't know, doing my corporate work and working for somebody else. That's what I'm trying to build up here. And if any of you guys are kind of lost, or you're getting into the gym and you don't really know where to start, feel free to book a call with me. I love chatting with you guys. Links down there for like Instagram and stuff. But build up an immunity to not, how do I word this? You have to build up immunity to the BS in your life. I'll refrain from swearing. But there's BS in your life that you're letting control you and putting your value and your worth in. Okay? Whether that's video games, whether that's television, whether that's friends that are lazy and don't have what you want. You're putting your feelings and your emotions on them. And how they act and react is how you feel. That's not what you should do. You should put it only on yourself and what you believe and what you feel like, if that makes sense. Obviously, you don't want to go around and, be like a raging alcoholic and be like, I'm happy, and not think about the people you're affecting. But you should definitely think about people in the right way. Like, how am I impacting people? How am I being a positive influence on the world? Because if you don't have an impact on people around you, and you're not, you don't even have yourself figured out, how are you going to be happy in the long run? That's kind of how I look at things, and it's been helping me a lot. Maybe it could help you guys. We all have our own way of living, and I'm still kind of figuring out how people can adapt certain ways in life to being happy, and this is kind of what I found. Eventually, when work's more figured out, and I got this as more of a stable source of income, hopefully, by the end of the summer, I'll be able to quit my job and everything and just focus just on this. I don't know, life will just feel better. But at the same time, you can't say, okay, this is when life gets good. This is when life's going to feel fun. This is what's going to make me feel happy, because that's not how it works, right? It'll help, but necessarily you're not going to be happy. You got to be happy with what you have now to understand what can make you happier, if that makes sense. And that's kind of what I found, when I was chubby and stuff like that. I got jacked, or I guess I got jacked in the sense where I felt jacked from where I was at. And it necessarily didn't make me feel happy because I was still working my jobs and not really adding things to people's lives, but it does help. So, I don't know what to title this video. Maybe a simple heart to heart. But I hope this kind of impacts you guys in a positive way, because maybe you can learn from my mistakes and learn from what I've been. But here's a little kind of life update on what I'm doing. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. Love you. Peace.